What's going on, guys? Connor on Chain. We are back today, bringing you guys just some info on real world assets. We do have a RWA report. This is just something little, something simple I was looking at today. Just on CoinGecko, a lot of times they actually get a lot of good info, and I feel like a lot of people don't really look into it. A lot of times, like it can be some simple information, but you can get some decent stuff out of this. So this one just talks about real world assets in crypto. I'm not going to talk about a lot of this because, you don't need to really know about too much here. But something I did want to bring up as I was looking at this here, we got right here. So, the demand for private credit is largely concentrated in the automotive sector, comprising of 42% of all loans. So when it comes to real world asset projects in crypto, a lot of projects are focusing their energy, their time, their whole business, around different parts of, or I'm sorry, different industries rather. We got Landex, for example, agriculture. We got a bunch of energy, healthcare, crypto trading, carbon projects, real estate. Lots of projects focusing on real estate. But this is where I found it very interesting because we got automotive over here. This is just, I guess, I don't know how they classify these like loans. Of the 470 million in outstanding loans made by private credit protocols, 42% or 196 million are used for car loans. So that's very interesting because that's something I feel like I don't hear anyone talking about. Automotive industry related real world assets, as in real world asset projects. It's something to keep in mind. When you got this kind of percent overtaking everything else, and there's a lot of hype around projects related to real estate, carbon credit, crypto trading a little bit. Healthcare, that's a different story. That's a whole different narrative, to be honest. Energy, same thing. We got agriculture. A lot of hype surrounding a lot of these different, I guess, subcategories. But the fact that automotive here is so slept on and it takes over close to half of this is kind of mind blowing. I wanted to show you guys that, so keep your eyes peeled for some stuff related to automotive loans. That's going to be a very, very undervalued until it's priced in part of this narrative. Auto loans saw a large increase throughout 2023 with over 168 million being lent across 60 loans. The fintech sector took out no new loans during the same period. Real estate and the crypto trading sectors have received a total of 840 loans. Though only 10% of the loans are currently active, the rest have been repaid, while some defaulted. Very interesting stuff here, And like I said, some of the stuff on CoinGecko, it's cool to read. They do have a lot of different information if you guys go through some of it. But I wanted to bring that up and talk about some more RWA coins. I never realized you can literally just categorize it here too. Let's go to real world assets. Because as you guys know, I made a video the other day talking about a lot of coins pumping, starting to move. And we've seen heavy movements across the board. We got Ondo now at like 1.3 million. Yeah, million. 1.3 billion, I mean. Polymesh too. A lot of different YouTubers, a lot of people on Twitter. Just a lot of creators have been talking about RWA again, which is good to see. Because if you have been watching the channel for a while, that's one of the main narratives that I do like to cover. On and off, I might not cover it too often, but I'm always looking at RWA projects. And I mean, just looking at the ones that are listed right here, we got IXS, IX Swap. This has been a top project for me for months, since the bottom back in September. IXS is still a powerhouse of a project. Everything they got going on. Let's pull up the website here for a minute. I'll show you guys a little bit. And again, I'll probably link a video above that I dropped 4 or 5 months ago talking about IXS. Might be a little outdated at this point though, because I know they have implemented a lot of new things as well. But real world asset tokenization, Launchpad, and DEX. That is what they're focusing on. Hold on 1 second. But yeah, they're like I said, they want to be a Launchpad now, which is cool because I think mainly they were focusing on just being a DEX. I know a Launchpad was mentioned a while ago, and it was, pretty eminent that they were, but I feel like they've really started to focus heavy on like their Launchpad as well, which is good to see. Because Launchpads in general are just very hyped up, and honestly, for this being, it's in my opinion still a top RWA project, to actually have a Launchpad in which more than likely they will probably launch some very strong projects out of this. I can see this being a powerhouse of a project. I was even just thinking about it though outside of the Launchpad. This is still a great project, but I think with this Launchpad starting to really heat up, I think this is going to make it 10 times more attractive to new investors, especially new investors looking for, I guess a Launchpad in which launches very strong projects. So they do have a launch coming up too. I want to pull up their Twitter as well. I just saw this, I think, yesterday. This is their Twitter, IXS, IX swap. Yeah, that's funny too. They're literally doing a. Did they do it already? Yeah, they did. So they literally had a AMA with Landex, which is another one that I've talked about, which I'm gonna bring the chart up in 1 minute for you guys. This is the classic crypto chart. I preach. If you guys watch my channel thoroughly, at least once a month, you will see a coin that pulls what I'm about to show you with this chart, and this one finally started to pull it off. So we'll get into that as well. Let's see. This is just ridiculous. Hold up. Yeah, no, my bad. I should have already had this up. I should have known what this is already. I had the tweet. Yeah, anyways. Oh, actually, I think it was right there. I'll just say it's not a big deal because I wasn't going to really jump into the token that they're actually going to launch soon, but first round, yeah, no. It doesn't matter. But anyways, IXS, I still love this project, guys. Keep this on your radar, and I never advise buying into a pump. Absolutely don't do that. If you guys see a coin that is just ripping to the upside, that should not be a buy signal for you. When you see a solid project, strong fundamentals, but the price is very heavily in the red, that is a buy signal. When I've been calling the dip over here and here and here, that's a buy signal. And then when it starts to move, you just let it run. Now let me pull up the chart for LandX as well. We'll go to Dex Screener here. Because like I said, this chart happens all the time. Most projects, it's very, very similar. Maybe not most, but a lot of them, it's similar. And so if you guys aren't familiar with Landex, this is an interesting one. They are focusing in the agriculture of RWA. Okay, so that is not the chart. Let me go to Trading View. I mean, it is the correct chart, but yeah, basically this chart, what I'm about to show you is when a crypto coin launches, it will shoot up, have a very hype launch. It might run for a few days, it might run for a week, to the upside, just chill. Eventually, it's going to dump because a lot of pre-sale investors seed investors, anyone who got in early, are going to take profits. They're going to sell. The entire project itself is going to drop heavily. And then it's going to consolidate for around a few weeks to maybe 2 to 3 months. You know, and then after this consolidation, it's going to finally break out. And from the breakout, it usually will retest. And after a retest, it's going to continue. But what I've said before with this one as well, they focus on the agriculture of, you know, again, I'm not going to get into it, but agricultural RWA is a very, very interesting. I don't even know what you kind of classify that as. I just say it's very, very high risk. You know, this is, in my opinion, this is a pretty high risk project, and I'm not talking about it right now to show you guys like, oh, buy this because it's low. Like, no. You know, this more than likely is going to do something like this. It'll bounce, and if it does get the hype, you know, they can really attract more people, and this just becomes a go-to project. You know, this is probably what the chart's going to pull. You know, I say this all the time, like, bottom line, if you can find a decent project that's even fundamentally strong, you can just go based off charts, guys. You don't even need to know what some of these altcoins are. As long as you know that they are actually fundamentally strong, they aren't a complete scam, their tokenomics aren't, you know, completely horrible. I'm telling you, outside of fundamentals, just from a chart alone, like if I just saw this chart and I knew the coin was a pretty solid coin, that's all I need to see. Just wait for a bottom and let it run. You know, I can show you guys friggin' 5, 10, 15 different charts that pull the same exact thing. You know, another classic one that ended up ripping, you know, that we also got in on the dip. Gonna continue. If this goes even lower, I will be absolutely aping the dip. But NKI, same exact thing. All you gotta do is like that's all that you need to see. Chart patterns. This is on a daily chart, so that's what I mean. Launch. It's gonna come down for a while. Usually, it'll consolidate in between a few weeks, maybe 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks, upwards of like maybe 2 to 3 months max. And then it's going to moon. If it's got a very strong fundamental reason to be in crypto, it's got a great utility, great everything, guys. It will moon. It will do very well. You know, so that's kind of what I wanted to show you with Landax, because that chart looks like absolutely beautiful to me. You know. So again, you know, this is kind of just like a little market update of RWA stuff. Wasn't getting too crazy with anything because I got a ton of videos planned for the next week and a half, going very in depth with certain things. So just keep your radar on from now until the next week and a half, 2 weeks. A lot of good stuff coming. So that's what I got for you guys today. Little market update, like I said, and I will keep you guys in the loop with a lot of this new stuff. So let's get it. I'll see you in the next video.